Welcome to Iconic Movie Reviews. My name is Shane, and over the past couple of days I've watched three of the five Alfred Hitchcock movies. I watched Psycho, and then right after that I watched The Rear Window, and then today I watched The Birds. So this is a fantastic group of films. I watched The Birds back in high school. I think it was mandatory in English 30. That's what we called it back then, which was great because then you didn't have to do class. But Psycho, I don't remember seeing the complete movie, if you can believe that. So when I watched it, I thought it was actually fantastic. A little bit of spoilers here. If you haven't seen this movie in like 40 some years, that's your fault, okay? So if you don't want any spoilers in any of these Alfred Hitchcock movies, then go watch something else. But if you don't mind a little bit of spoilers, here we go. So the first movie I watched, of course, was Psycho with Janet Leigh and Anthony Perkins. Anthony Perkins is a fantastic actor in his own right. I don't know if he's alive today or not. Should know that information, but I didn't look it up. But Janet Leigh, she was great. It's interesting in this movie Psycho that they actually kill off the main character halfway through the movie, and that was kind of a no-no back in the 60s. You don't do that. You don't take your main character and kill him or her off halfway through the movie. But Alfred Hitchcock wanted that, and it paid off in the end. It was fantastic. I love the twist at the end. If you don't know by now, there's a big twist at the end, and I think a lot of people try and mimic or try and match that twist. And specifically, I don't want to wreck it for you. Watch Psycho because it's you don't see it coming. The ending it's brilliant. It's brilliant. The shots are well done. The acting is great. The music is really what gets you in Psycho because the score, I remember my son was actually in another room and he came upstairs and he's like, "What music is that? Because the music is scary." And so he sat down and started watching some of it with me. And it's true, there's some scenes with the knife and it's just very scary. But it's different. It's not like today where you have to see all the murders, the heads getting crushed by Michael Myers and all this kind of stuff, chiclets over a bathroom stall. You don't need to see that. That's the point. It's okay to have the kill scenes off screen, and it works magnificently. After this movie, I watched The Rear Window with James Stewart and Grace Kelly. Fantastic show. If you ever watched the movie Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf, I have a hard time pronouncing his last name, but I think they got inspiration from watching The Rear Window because it's just like it. Except Shia LaBeouf's character has an ankle bracelet. James Stewart in this movie has a broken leg. And it's great because there are some shots where he's actually looking out his rear window and you can actually see different stories in each window from his balcony. And it's just phenomenal. It's fantastic and it's a great ending. I'm telling you, I had fun watching these. It's so nice to watch a cool movie where you could just tell that people were inspired afterwards to try and mimic and try and make movies like this. And then, of course, tonight I watched The Birds, or this afternoon I watched The Birds with Tippi, what's her name? Tippi Hedren and Rod Taylor. I thought she was cast perfectly for this role. It was a great movie. Again, it's directed by Alfred Hitchcock, so it's going to be a little bit different because they spend time building the characters up, and you don't want these characters to die. And the special effects obviously weren't the best in the world. But if you can imagine, the way Alfred Hitchcock would make a movie is he would put realistic characters, men, women, kids, in situations that may be fantastical, maybe out of this world kind of thing, what if scenarios. So you always feel for the characters, and I think it actually worked in that movie. And I actually look forward to seeing Vertigo, with another movie with James Stewart, and then also North by Northwest with Cary Grant. And I haven't seen those two movies. So, of course, I think they're all made in the '60s as well. But this is such a great buy. I'm so happy I bought this. This is fantastic. Tonight, just for fun, I watched John Wick 2 again. I never get tired of that. The reason why I watched John Wick, and that's not part of this review, but is because I just bought a new sound system yesterday. It's got like over 300 watts, and for me that's a big deal because I had a stereo for about 20 years that had 50 watts, and I thought that was good enough. No, it isn't. Not when you get surround sound. And I have it maybe a quarter of the way turned up, and it's blowing our neighbors away. So it's awesome. I like it when people have to tell you, turn down your movie. It's awesome. They didn't have to do that, but my wife doesn't like it too loud. And my son actually came out of his room, and I didn't hear what he was saying, but it sounded like, could you turn down the movie? All right, so there you go. So there's my review of this Alfred Hitchcock series. I'll probably be, maybe after the weekend, I'll review Vertigo and North by Northwest. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to this channel. See you later.